Yo, what's going on, guys? Manny here, and welcome back to another episode of MMT. In the last episode, we had quite a bit of fun using these Prime Moments cards. We spent quite a lot of coins as well. We splashed the cash on the big man Eusebio despite having the 89 one. 11 million coins, still so much for that card. However, I would say he didn't disappoint, but he's not going to be worth that. I would say overall, he'd probably be worth about 7 million coins. So the extra 4 mil, that's not a thing. But yeah, we were looking to try out some more cards this episode. I'm still waiting to try the 97 Prime R9. You can see we sold our 96 R9 to make more room, get more coins. So if we wanted to get some of those players going for 15 mil, that we could. That's the likes of Ronaldinho, R9. Zidane's pretty scarce right now. I haven't seen too much of him on the market. Cruyff pretty scarce. Hullet as well. Pele. These guys aren't really on the market. I've seen a few Peles today, which is pretty rare. But I saw, like, I don't know, I wouldn't pay 13 mil for Pele. I wouldn't pay 15 mil for Pele just because the other cards, apart from the 95 early in the game, have disappointed me. So I'm not excited. I'm not rushing for Pele. I'm just maybe looking to pick him up when he's around under 10 mil. That's the most I reckon I'll pay for that card. But we bought Laudrup, 92 Laudrup, whilst we were waiting to try and get Ronaldinho or Zidane or someone in that area. And 92 Laudrup is a card that most people will probably overlook, and you can see why. With the way he was shooting in these games that I was trying in FUT Champs, you can see why he'd be overlooked. Sometimes he would just kick it straight at the goalkeeper, sometimes he'd put it wide, and sometimes he'd finish. So too inconsistent, and that's the thing with these icons that don't really go for the high prices, or they don't have the high shooting stats or finishing stats. They're gonna cost you games, and that happened to me a few times in the weekend league. Like, don't get me wrong, very good to link up play, good to get into nice positions, pop it off, and maybe create goals from time to time. But in comparison, even Seedorf was shooting better than him. Obviously, Seedorf has a higher shooting stat, but you would expect that Laudrup would be able to finish his dinner. And you can see just in places like that where you need that little bit of quality, there even he beats the defender and just kicks it straight at Ter Stegen. So I don't know. I don't think he's a card that I would say you should spend more than 900k on, just because of the inconsistency, and it will cost you games. And it did cost me games for sure. Like places where I needed a bit of clinical ability, like Eusebio is about to show here, Laudrup was lacking that. Obviously, I shouldn't really be comparing to the two. One's a striker and one's a midfielder, but I'm just saying, when you spend a lot of coins, you want that to be reproduced, and you want to get what you're paying for, really. Laudrup 1.25 million, not really worth that. Maximum 900k, and yeah, it's probably not going to be used by a lot of FIFA players this year. But yeah, we're still looking to try quite a few other midfielders anyway. People have been saying I should try that Hagi. I feel like from the response that I've heard from him being used in draft, he seems okay. The fact that he's a left wing card maybe takes away from him a little bit, but he's got 5-star skills on that card, so it could be an interesting one to try out for sure. Look at this goal from Zanetti, just creeping in at the near post. His goalkeeper should definitely do better. But yeah, overall, I was liking the feel of the team. The team that I had in the weekend league wasn't really feeling it was feeling nice in a way because I was winning games, but it wasn't what I wanted. So I guess there was a mental block in my mind. Seedorf's still one of the better players I've used. There is another example of what Laudrup can do in games where you need a goal. That could have been 2-1 to me. I reckon that's Zidane, that's a goal. We looked at it after the game where we lost 3-1. And look at that, in that area on the weak foot, I think he's got 4-star weak foot. If it's 3, then it wouldn't surprise me that he's missed that. But there, I aimed it on target and it just gradually pulled wide. And that cost me the game in a way, because if I make that 2-1, it's a whole different game. I can change my style of play, be a little bit more patient and get the results. So that sort of stuff, Laudrup in MMT, my friend, gets you sold. So we had to list them up. But yeah, like, we're just waiting for that Dino to come through, and I don't know, I was in two minds because I knew that if he was on the market he'd go for literally 15 million coins, and I was thinking, after the experience with the 94 Dino, is that worth it, 15 million coins? But then again, the card, the way it was looking, I was just like, I have to get that by all means. And just look at the stuff this Eusebio is doing, man. This Eusebio is just, he's unreal, but the price is very heavy. Seedorf still being that guy, my favorite midfielder in the game right now. He's overtaken Zidane, so we're gonna have to try that 97 Zidane to see if he can take the levels up again. Eusebio clinical as ever once more, and just such a fun card to use. I know so many of these prime moments are being used in draft, and I know some of you guys at home may be thinking, I may not even ever get the chance to use these cards. Just play the draft, man. play the draft. And I saw a comment in the last video saying I can't even afford the draft. Well, you need to be able to afford at least 15k on this game, surely. But yeah, no, they're very fun cards to use. Like I said, I like the promo itself. For someone like myself that can afford the cards, it's a good thing. The only shame right now is so many of them are not on the market. And last year I was banned, so I couldn't really experience this. I don't really know what prime moments were like last year because I was banned. I couldn't use the transfer market. And yeah, this year I'm starting to see. And I remember people were complaining that they were just not on the market. They were just too scarce, too rare, too expensive. And I get people's complaints there because it does make sense. But we had the opportunity to get this Ronaldinho for 15 million coins. I'm surprised that he lasted that long. You can see that means people aren't confident in paying that price for him. And I knew that by making that purchase, we're definitely just signing away ourselves to lose some coins for sure. But it was exciting to see the card, 95 rated. He's got the frizzy electrified hair just flying about, and I was hoping to see the same in game as well. But EA for some reason have given him the same style as the 94, so that's false advertising. Let me just say that, number one, that's definitely false advertising for him to have that hairstyle. But yeah, I don't know, I didn't know what to expect from the card. Like I said, I'm always going to compare him to the 94 Prime, and you guys know that I didn't really enjoy that card. We bought that card for 7.75 million coins, and we lost quite a bit. We lost 3 million coins on that. But yeah, I have to say, Ronaldinho, very, very good at dribbling. However, this might not make sense to you what I'm about to say, but he just feels too fast for the gameplay, if that makes sense. Like, you'll see a couple of examples in this. They're like really, really quick dribbling, but sometimes you move the stick so lightly and he moves in like 3 ways, so you don't even know what you're doing. And I think that is a definite con, that is a definite downside to the card. So although his dribbling is very, very fast, just sometimes you just want to do 1 turn with him and he wants to do 3. Don't get me wrong, can still do amazing stuff with the ball, but if you're gonna ever use a Ronaldinho, you just have to do skills. If you're not doing skills, it's a waste. That's his biggest strength, really, the agility and the fact that he can do skills quite quickly. But like I said, sometimes he just does too much. I want to do something so simple, just a little turn, and because he's so agile and so fast and so swift, you'll see it. He just moves too fast, and I can't even control it, which is a bad thing. And the other thing on the other hand is his shooting. I have to think, like, when I get into the area, I want him to score. Like, there's an example of what I'm talking about. He just literally did like 3 moves when I just wanted to cut in once. And he did it quite a few times. I was trying to score some nice goals with him as well, trying to, you know, just bring that Dino flair back into the game. But yeah, just it wasn't always happening. Like, there you can see, nice little swiftness, turns around very quickly and finishes that with the left foot. Don't lie, that goal was definitely unrealistic. But in places like this, in a game where I need to go 1-0 up in the early stages, he kicks it straight at Neto, and I just need a little bit more clinical ability than that. I think he's got 93 shooting on the card as well. But yeah, in those areas, he can cost you games, and where he's not a striker, maybe his finishing stat isn't the highest, but I don't know, I still expect a certain level of composure in the box when I'm getting into areas where I should be scoring. I do want the goals, because I've seen Ben Yedder score better goals than that, and I was trying so hard in this game to score a goal. Lovely skill, and that's the goal I score. Literally kicks it at Diego Carlos and it goes into the back of the net. But I don't know, I'm half and half on this card. I don't know if it's me, the fact that I can't use him properly, because in the hands of someone like R9 Rai, probably a ridiculous card. But then again, I guess it just comes down to the user. It depends on who's using him, how you're using him. I just wanted him to put that into the far corner. I wanted to score a really nice goal, and he just wasn't consistent enough in front of goal. That's one of the things. Sometimes you'd get the goal, sometimes you just wouldn't. He'd kick it at the keeper, he'd put it wide, and I just wanted a bit more. So I feel like the price tag was definitely heavy on this Ronaldinho's head. Like I said, it also annoyed me that he didn't have the hairstyle that they put on the card. I don't know why they've done that. R9, the 97 one, has his hairstyle, so I don't know why Dino's not got the World Cup hairstyle for the goal that he scored or the moment that he had. So it's a bit weird, but you know what EA are like, they don't really care. They've put the promo out, they've made their money, so it is what it is. But yeah, overall I have to say, I wouldn't rate the card that highly. I wouldn't say that if you are a pro or you are someone who can afford this card, like a Bateson or something, although there's like 5 people that can probably afford this card, I wouldn't say break the bank for him. I don't think he's a guy, unless you're trying to make content for him, it doesn't make sense. But sometimes he pulls out stuff like that, and I'm just like, whoa, like, I want that every game though. When I'm paying 15 million, I want to see that every game. I want to see that sort of flair. I want to see that sort of finish as well, where it's going top bins. But times like this, rainbow flick, why is that going wide? Why is that going wide? Is that my direction issue? I don't know. You've got high stats, I want that to go in there. But yeah, still had a little bit of fun here and there, but just didn't have the overpowered feeling that I wanted. Like, just the goal like that, I said I want to see that more and more. I want to see that very often, and it just wasn't the case. So not a card that I'd be rushing to try again, but if he goes under 8 million, I will consider it in the near future. But yeah, still plenty more prime icons to try, prime icon moments. Let me know your comments down in the comment section below who you want me to try. We've still got many MMTs to come, so yeah, look forward to them. Leave a like on this video, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Peace.
Destined for greatness. Back in school days, I was known for my lateness. Always wanted more, wouldn't ever try to take less. Always been the real guy, never liked the fakeness.
Never liked the fakeness, always kept it real though. Back to back on the track with my little bro. Keep our heads high, but we work with our heads low. Destined for greatness, it was known from the get-go.
Known from the get-go, written in the stars.